Hello and welcome back on my channel for yet another reading month. I am so excited for the May reading month. I'm excited for Asian Readathon, looking forward to possibly doing an Asian lit bingo or something. But in general, I am just excited because my April reading month was really good. So just to recap that real quick, I originally had 20 books on my TBR and a total of 8,791 pages. And as you know, if you have been watching my channel for a while, I have super ambitious TBRs because I prefer to have a TBR that lasts even if I am crushing it and I don't have to get up and be like, oh, what book am I going to read next? Yes, I actually schedule my reading throughout the whole month at the beginning of the month. So down to the amount of pages I read per day. It is super weird, it is super scheduled, and I do not tend to go away from that schedule. I try to stick to it and I'm challenging myself to reach these goals. And I usually don't because they're super ambitious to make me push myself. So I don't feel bad if I don't reach 100%, but it's pushing me more than having a very, very reachable goal and then reaching it and having nothing left to push for. So my New Year's resolution was to be better than last year and to hit more than 50% of my TBR. Last year I only read 31% of my TBR in April, and this year I did 61. I actually finished 13 books in April and I'm super proud. So let's get to my May TBR. I always have them written down in this like cute format, but just for like my tracking purposes, I started this in 2017, this little book, and I love that I have all my monthly TBRs in here, but I also have, and this is where I'm actually scheduling my reading, is on a sheet. And let me know if you are interested in how I'm organizing my my daily reading, my weekly reading, etc. Let me know. I can make a video and show you what I'm doing in my crazy scheduling. But so for May 2020, I do want to participate in the Asian Readathon. So I have a couple of Asian authored books on my plan, but I am not locking them down into the 5 challenges, except for the group read, obviously, because I am not 100% sure how I want to read them, etc. And I'm just going to tick the boxes once I have enough options and I have something for each challenge, but I will only assign them once I read it because I have more options than prompts, if that made sense. And I'm gonna name them once I go down the list. I have my TBR is separated into book clubs, book reads, group reads, buddy reads, arcs, and my monthly prompts. So I pretty much have my own readathon going every month because I have a selection of prompts that I try to do every month to diversify my reading. Okay, so let's start with the group reads, book clubs. I want to take part in Booksplosion again, and we're reading We Are the Wildcats. I'm not 100% sure about this book because I have read a few conflicting, not really conflicting, but different opinions on this. Just making sure I'm not zooming in more. Sometimes it happens with my wrist that on accident I'm zooming in more. So I have read a few reviews that were quite critical about the sexual, I don't know if it is abuse in this, but yeah, some things about it not being portrayed well. I'm quite interested to find out myself. I don't know much about the book except for this. Then the read rate review is actually reading City of Brass, but I already read it, but I haven't read the last month's book, so I'm going to be reading Red Sister, hopefully, finally, for that. And Red Sister I will also read as a buddy read with Jen. Then the Booktube chicks are reading The Betrothed. Right now I'm not in the mood for that type of book, so I'm gonna pass on the Booktube chicks. But again, the Booktube chicks have been reading Thorn past month, and I haven't finished that yet, so I'm going to pick up Thorn. Thorn is also going to be a buddy read with Lucienne, and Thorn is also a potential for the Asian Readathon because it's written by a Pakistani woman. Then Books and Jam is going to pick up The Dream Daughter, and I've seen some of my friends that I trust their taste to be similar to mine rate this really high, so I'm really excited for this. And then the Literally Dead book club is reading Fragments of the Lost, and I am dying to read a Literally Dead book club book. I was so excited for the past couple of months for them, and I never got to them, and I really want to get to them this time around. So these are my book clubs, and I'm going to link all the book clubs that I'm mentioning down below, so if you want to join any of them, please find the link down in the description box. Also, if you ever want to buddy read something with me, please ping me. Please reach me on any of the social media that is down below. I love buddy reading, and I cannot get enough of buddy reading. And if there's any book on this list for May that you want to read with me, please reach out. I'm happy to adjust my schedule so we can read it together. The buddy reads that I already have planned are Fight Like a Girl with Ilma and Lucienne. All I know about this book is that it is about a Trinidad girl who grows up in, I believe, Canada, and she is in a quite violent household, and her father dies, and she is getting to a point where she's not so sure if her father's death was as natural an accident as it was made out to be. It's a short book. I'm quite interested in that, and I have no clue about the Trinidad culture, so I hope I get exposed to that a little bit. Then I count as a buddy read my traveling books. I have traveling books. Let me show you one. Traveling Books is a group on Bookreads. It's a German-speaking group in Germany due to posting the books, and pretty much what we do is we read books together by picking a color and making notes in the book as we read it, so it becomes quite colorful with like comments and stuff, and it feels like we're reading it together. And honestly, that is so much fun, and I'm looking forward to reading these group reads. So for this, I'm going to read History is All You Left Me, which all I know is a gay love grieving story. Then Welcome to the Night Vale, which I know is just a weird mystery. Then Dodie, let me show this to you. I have read conflicting, why am I using the word conflicting again? It's not conflicting, but mixed reviews about this one as well. But I'm quite interested because, first of all, I love that I'm number 7. That means there's quite a lot of comments already in here, but it's like mixed media, and it looks so colorful. And I am just super excited for this because it just looks so different and creative. And I'm, it's called Dodie, Secrets for the Mad, Obsessions, Confessions, and Life Lessons. That's all I know. Super excited for that. Then I am also going to get The Way of Kings as a buddy read, not as a buddy read, as a traveling book. I don't have it here as a traveling book yet, so I put my own copy back there. Yes, I signed up for a traveling book because I felt like it would be even more fun to read it together, even though I have a copy. But I'm not planning to read the full book this month. I'm planning to read 350 pages this month. So I'm going to spread that over 3 months. Okay, so these are the buddy reads that are planned. Oh no, one more. Donna Tartt's The Secret History. No, not much about it at all. And then the 5th season is also a traveling book. I haven't mentioned the 5th season yet because it comes up in my prompts, and on my list it's down in my prompts. Then I have 2 arcs that I want to get to. One is The Red Labyrinth, which is an e-arc from NetGalley. I have completely forgotten what it's about. And if you're wondering why I'm not talking more about the book's content, I will be talking about the book's contents in my vlogs. So yes, my vlogs, I am like 17 weeks backlog with posting my vlogs. I've been having some issues, and I'm probably going to talk to you about that in my giveaway video as well. With the person editing, if you don't know, I am getting help editing these videos, not because I'm unable, but because I simply prefer to use the time for reading. I have very limited time in my life. I love vlogging, but I hate how much time the editing process is consuming. And even though I think if I would still be 20 in university, it's what I would be doing. I would love editing. I actually enjoy the process, but with my work schedule, I would have to make the decision between, do I want to edit or do I want to read a book? And I would probably not read 12 books or 13 books. I would probably only end up reading 2 books, and then a reading vlog kind of becomes nonsense. So I have looked into getting some support with it by pretty much paying somebody to edit for me. And I've been having some trouble with promises not being kept of how many can be edited, and the quality not being what I want it to be with other editors and stuff. So I'm completely behind, but I'm slowly getting them and getting back on track. And I was at a point where I'm like, okay, now it's been so long, do I want to post them? Then people encouraged me to still post them, but then I was like, okay, I only want to post them once I have them all and I can get back on track. I don't want to post now something from like Christmas and then stop again for 2 months. So I want to be in a continuous routine before posting it. So long story short, my vlogging uploading sucks. But I am vlogging and I will upload the videos. It might not be tomorrow for the last week of April, but it will be at one point, and I'm hoping it's soon. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts about any of the books, my wrap-ups are going to be within the vlogs, and you can pretty much find in the title and in the description box which books I'm talking about and which books I will be reading. I talked to you in the beginning about my plans, but in the description box you can literally see which books I have actually been making reading progress in. So you can, if you're interested in a special book, like let's say you want my feedback on Thorn, you can find it that way by looking for the weeks in May and then just see in the description box if I'm going to be talking about them. Okay, so Red Labyrinth, I know nothing about it, so if you don't know that yet, I tend to not know what's in a book. I read the summary and most of the time I just forget what it's about completely. So that's just me, and I like going in blind. And then we have Hideous Beauty, which was sent to me in a book box, and I believe that this could be a weird romance, but it also kind of looks dark and creepy, and it says a love story steeped in dark secrets. So I don't know if it's going to be for me. If it's a lot about like dark secrets and mystery and creepy, it might be. If it's just like love story sick, then no. But the cover is making me feel confident that it might be something fun. Okay, and then I want to read a Once Upon a Book Club book. It's down here, it's called Remembrance. The Once Upon a Book Club is a subscription box that I'm getting that has gifts that are wrapped. It's actually back here, and it's, let me just, this is one of the gifts. So I can show you what I mean. So, so this says page 37, and this means that on page 37 there's this little post-it in this book, and it tells me to open up the gift on page marked page 37, and something out of the book comes to life. So for example, if they're talking about a mug on page 37, there could be a mug in here. I love this concept, and I actually have been loving the pics from the adult Once Upon a Book Club lately so much, so I'm super excited for that one. Okay, so let's get to my monthly prompts. My first prompt is pick one, the oldest from your wish list on Goodreads. I have my Goodreads separated into my wish list, which is books that I want to read but I don't own yet. My want to read list is books that I own and want to read. So I want to kind of reduce my wish list because there's like 700 books on there. So either I pick one that has been on my wish list the longest, or I'm going to go and delete 10. And that's what I did again. I deleted 10. Then I have 3 books that were on my list last year. So I go into my Goodreads for May, which is the TBR that I had for May in 2019, and I pick all the books that I haven't read since they've been on my TBR last year. That kind of brings me to if I wanted to read a book a year ago and I still haven't read it, to pick it up again and maybe even consider if I wanted to unhaul it. And for this I have Ignite Me, which might be for the Asian Readathon because it is written by an Iranian person. But it also might potentially be a DNF and an unhaul. I was not completely into the series. This is why I stopped reading, and I kind of want to decide if I want to continue with the series or if I want to completely stop. Then last year also on my list was Truth Witch, which I will also be reading with Lucienne. And last year was the 5th season, which I now have as a traveling book and I really need to get to. Then I have a prompt to do a book club catch-up. So you've heard all the book clubs that I want to read something for in the first section of my TBR, and oftentimes I don't get to all of them, so I want to catch up with those. So I have a list of books from book clubs that I want to read, haven't gotten to, so I pick one of those. And for this I have decided to go for Thorn, which I already said is written by a Pakistani woman. Then I go through my want to read on Goodreads and I pick one with the lowest rating, and for this I'm going to read the manga Hinawaka Crush, which is written by a Japanese person and could potentially be for the Asian Readathon. And then I pick one from my want to read list, which is one of the most reviewed. So I take like the top 10 and then I pick from then. And for this I want to read Snowflower and the Secret Fan. This has been on my TBR, I believe, almost every single month for I feel like half a year now. I really want to get to it. And it's also written by a Chinese author. Then I pick one from my top shelf. This is my top shelf, and this is just books that I'm super in the mood for, books that I find super pretty, books that I am super hyped for. It's just different reasons why they're up here, but pick one of them. So it's like you are pre-ordering a book, it arrives in your house and you don't get to read it, because even though you are super pumped for it, what's up with that? That's up with that. So I want to force myself to get to one of those every month. And for that I have chosen Downstairs Girl, which is also written by a Chinese woman. I don't know much about this, but I think this is actually playing in the US, and a woman having a writing like a column or something. I don't remember, but it sounded super interesting. My nonfiction, I want to read one nonfiction every month this year, which has been recommended to me by somebody. And for my Asian Readathon month, I also wanted to pick one that was recommended to me to learn more about the Korean history. And for this, I want to read River in Darkness. So that also goes for the Asian Readathon. One prompt is to continue with a series that I really want to read, and for this I also double up the Way of the Kings. And then I have one slot for other books that I can still add, and if I need any more slots, I'm not allowed to. If I can't make it fit into a group book club read, ARC, body read, or into one of the prompts, it's not coming on this list. But I usually can make it work. So I have this one other slot, and that is for the group read Little Fires Everywhere, which is also written by a Chinese woman, and is for the group read for the Asian readathon. So let's take a look at my wonderful TBR shelf. I love how this shelf turns out every single month. I love that I had this idea to set it up like this, and I love seeing how it empties by the end of the month. It's one of my most favorite processes, and I love how it turned out, and I am super pumped about it. I'm super pumped about the May reading month, and I hope that you join me in some of them. Let me know if you're participating in any of the book clubs, in the Asian Readathon, or if you're going to read any of these books, or if you have read any of those books, and tell me how you like them. So yeah, super pumped, and I hope you liked my long ass TBR slash wrap up for last month. Oh yeah, that's where's my list? So last May I read 25% of the books, 24% of the pages. The total pages this month are 7,921 pages, and I have to beat my last month. I have to read at least 6 books and 1,905 pages, and that's easily done. Let's do that. All right, so this is it. I hope you found some inspiration. You liked what you saw. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you again on my channel real soon. Until then, bye.